As Vice President Kamala Harris gave what may have been the best convention speech in American history, Donald Trump was freaking out, and he was live posting about it every 30 seconds. Post, post, post. Then he went on Fox, and they basically tried to kick him off Fox because he kept on ranting and raving like a lunatic, and they were trying to just sane wash him as he behaved the way he did. Just watch as he becomes so unhinged as he's giving this interview with Fox after Vice President Kamala Harris finished her speech. He's like pressing the buttons on his phone. Here, listen to this.
Taxes. She's going to give a tax increase of 4 to 5 times what people and companies are paying right now.
And then the Fox hosts present Donald Trump with the facts that you're losing. You're losing your voters. They are going to Vice President Kamala Harris. What are you going to do? And Trump says, she's not having success. I'm having success. Here, watch this.
Let me ask you this, sir. There's been a huge appeal and momentum for women voters. She's trying to pull the youth vote, the Hispanic vote, the black vote back in her direction. Polls show that she's having some success in that at this point. So what are you going to do? What's your strategy to rebuild the momentum that you had with those voters?
No, she's not having success. I'm having success. I'm doing great with the Hispanic voters. I'm doing great with black men. I'm doing great with women because women want safety. They want safety. And they don't have safety when they have somebody allowing 20 million people into our country, many of them very dangerous people. No, it's only in your eyes that they have that, Martha. We're doing very well in the polls. We're leading in most of the polls. And in the swing states, we're leading in almost every one of them.
Mr. President,
Michigan,
let me interrupt.
The auto workers are voting for me because you're not going to have an auto industry if she gets elected. They're going to all electric cars.
So here was the moment that the Fox hosts were basically just trying to kick him off, and he kept on ranting and raving. Play this clip.
Beaten Joe Biden in a Democrat primary. I have no doubt about it. And they made it absolutely impossible for him. They made it that you have to get 60, 70% of the vote just to get in. And you know what?
President.
In the end, the Democrats did the same thing to Joe Biden. They threw Joe Biden out of the party.
And that's why we saw a different night tonight.
They did to RFK.
Mr. President, thank you so
very much, sir.
for the time.
Okay,
we appreciate that
much.
live feedback.
Stay right there. Live edition of Gutfeld is coming up. Thank you so much for joining us from Chicago. It's been a great week.
Good night.
Here's another part from that interview where Donald Trump just makes up that 70% of Americans are living in poverty. Play this clip.
She didn't talk about fracking. She didn't talk about crime. She didn't talk about 70% of our people are living in poverty. She didn't talk about housing, really. The trade deficit. She didn't talk about child trafficking that she's allowed to happen because she was the border czar and she presided over the weakest border in the history of our country. It's an invasion. I was there today, as you know, Brett. It's an invasion of our country taking place at our border, our southern border. It's a total invasion. And now it's starting at our northern border also, through Canada. And she didn't talk about any of that because she talks, but she doesn't do. It's no action. But, you know, look, other than that, it was a nice-looking room.
Mr. President, Martha McCallum here.
And here Donald Trump continues just to yell at the Fox anchors as they're basically powerless to stop him or even ask any questions. Play the clip.
20 million people have poured into our country, many of them from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylum, and record number of terrorists. And other countries are releasing their prisoners from their jails. They're emptying out their jails into the United States of America because of her incompetence and her bad border policies. She is a horrible, horrible person to run this country. We won't have a country if she gets elected.
Donald Trump continues here. He's talking about the American dream. I don't know, like what you were born into with a golden spoon in your mouth, and how you bankrupted almost every company you touched and screwed over all of your workers. Play this clip.
She said that she is promising middle-class tax cuts, and she says that if you are elected, it will cost Americans $30 $3,900 more a year in increased taxes. She's tying all of that to this Project 2025. That's where that number is coming from. What do you say to that?
Well, she knows I have nothing to do with Project 25. They throw it out. A group of people got together. They did a thing. I haven't even seen it. I don't want to see it. I told them specifically, I don't want to see it. People know where I stand. I lower taxes. She's raising taxes. She's going to give a tax increase of 4 to 5 times what people and companies are paying right now. The country will go into a depression if they do it. She didn't talk about interest rates. I mean, the interest rates are now getting close to record rates. People can't do business. Nobody can borrow money. People can't go to the American dream and buy a house because they can't afford the interest rate. And even if they could, the money isn't available. She didn't talk about any of that.
So after Fox basically kicks Donald Trump off the air, he then goes to Newsmax, and then he claims that everybody's happy with how Roe v. Wade was overturned, and people are just, it is the right, everyone was calling for it. Everyone was calling for it. Here, play this clip.
A lot of people would have thought, but everybody wanted that issue brought back to the states, the legal scholars, Democrats, Republicans, everybody. And we did that. And, you know, it's really become a almost, I think, look, I'm not going to say it's an issue that leans toward us, but people are happy. Every legal scholar wanted it brought back. They didn't want it in the federal government. And I was able to get it out, get it brought back to the states. And now the states are all voting on it, and it's where it should be. And I think you two agree with that. It's exactly where it should be. And this has gone on for 52 years. And now our country can be brought back and brought together.
You know, then he's trying to appeal to his QAnon base. So he talks about trafficking. Play this clip.
But I will tell you, I just watched it. Very nonspecific. She didn't talk about many things like interest rates, China, fracking in anywhere, let alone Pennsylvania, crime, poverty, trade deficits, child trafficking, woman trafficking, drugs, the border. She didn't talk about the most important things. It was a very general speech. And
by the way, take a look at this unedited photo of Donald Trump, just what he looked like at the in Arizona when he spoke earlier today. Just take a look at what he physically looks like right there. And then Donald Trump repeated this line that he said before about how he's like ready to flee to Venezuela. Remember, he said that to Elon Musk. He gave a variation of that to the Newsmax host. Here, play the clip.
You look at Venezuela, they've gone into Caracas, which was a very unsafe city, and now it's safe. In fact, someday the three of us will have to go there. No, let's bring your husband with us also, right? And we'll bring some of the other people that are with you, because I like the people that are with you. And we'll go to Caracas because it'll be safer than any place in our country. She's destroying our country. They're allowing the criminals to come in from other countries into the United States of America. She is destroying our country. And nobody covers that better than Greg.
Thank you, Mr. President. And you know,
yeah, what a complete and utter disaster for Donald Trump there. Again, I'll show you just those messages that he was posting, post after post after post, mixed with weird ads of like selling bulletproof whiskey glasses, Trump assassination edition whiskey glasses, or like bringing in Russian mail order bride websites. Sites on as he keeps on posting. Anyway, folks, you can't make this up. Vice President Kamala Harris's speech, I mean, pitch perfect. I'm still a bit speechless here. History was made. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million. Oh, can I show you this? Here are some Trump supporters reacting to the speech. Play the clip.
Survivors of crime.
No
to
way.
Remind them, no one should be able to fight alone.
Kamala Harris will never be my president. Whoa!
I had to show that some of the right-wing influencers right there as caught by right-wing cope. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.